Welcome to part 18 of my Western Roman Empire campaign. Emperor Victorius reformed the religion in honor of Octavius and Aurelian and thus perpetuated them as gods in the new Roman faith. This endeavor was strongly criticized by many advisors due to the size of the empire, but the change of religion and Victorius' imprudence would bring the empire even closer to collapse. And so welcome to Crusader Kings 3, The Fallen Eagle. With the introduction of Octavianism, a new age of conquest was to dawn in the Roman Empire. At least, that was Victorius' plan. Of course, he knew that his new faith would also meet with some resistance, but the extent of the resistance would make him fearful, as more and more provinces joined together to rebel against the new faith. And I could do nothing but watch the peasant uprising grow bigger and bigger. I've never seen such a big peasant uprising before. I'm a bit scared, to be honest. 110. And so, in the year 679 AD, there was a peasant uprising in which 162 provinces took part. Together, they amounted to a strength of 175,000 men. Yep, that's pretty intense, even if they're just peasants. Okay, now it's time to use everything I have. My plan now was to split my army. My men-at-arms would fight in Persia, and the rest of my army would be sent out from Constantinople, while my legions would keep order in Britannia and the other frontier areas. And maybe I could send my holy oh no, wait. But Victorius had made a huge mistake in planning his new religion. For the new religion had banned and destroyed all legions and imperial laws. Oh my god, what? What? Oh my god, what have I done? What? I didn't know I would destroy all my legions. Everything is gone, even the imperial laws. When I realized that I no longer had any legions and imperial laws, and that I had lost all the advantages of these, I understood that the situation was much more dangerous than I had assumed. Now the war had to be won somehow, but I had fewer troops than they did, and on top of that, all the bonuses from the imperial laws no longer existed. I realized that my men-at-arms alone would take far too long to put down the uprising, and so I decided to hire additional mercenaries. My soldiers fought well, but there were just too many of them. Slowly but surely, I was losing the war. But when all seemed lost, one army managed to win a victory, which gave me hope again. But the longer the war lasted, the more expensive it became. Because without the bonuses of the imperial laws, I was losing 350 gold a month. At first, not really bad for the empire, but in the long run, this could be a real danger. Slowly but surely, my soldiers gained the upper hand and managed to capture the enemy leader in Africa. The greatest uprising in the history of the new Roman Empire had been overcome. And I made sure that a new holy order was immediately established. But only 2 years later, the check was to be repeated. A new peasant uprising with 109 members declared war on me. Especially Gaul, Egypt and Persia were very unhappy with the new religion, which is why there was the greatest resistance in these areas. Once again, I needed to hire mercenaries to be able to somehow defend such a huge empire. Things again looked bad for me, but once again I managed to regain the upper hand and capture the enemy leader in Africa. The people revered and feared Octavius at the same time because of his deeds, but because he almost always acted to his advantage and still survived wars and crises like this, he was nicknamed the Devil Emperor by the people, because he was feared by his followers as well as his enemies. But I did not have much time to recover, for a new uprising requires my attention. Meanwhile, however, the uprisings were no longer as dangerous and large as they used to be, and so this one too was successfully defeated. Octavianism was now gaining ground everywhere and was slowly displacing the old Christian faith. Due to many uprisings, the empire was in chaos. Victorius did his best to hold back the rebellions, but was only partially successful. Again and again, his armies had to go out and keep order. All the protests caused Victorius to go mad and even banished his wife to prison. In the short times of peace, new building projects were launched, but the time had come for Victorius. At the age of 79, he finally died of old age, but he left behind what was probably the greatest crisis in a long time. For his religion had not only abolished the legions and imperial laws, but also the sole right of inheritance of the eldest son.